is Tina from tinaheals.com, and this video, as I've already discussed with you, that I intend to make, it is about Rahu and Ketu in Aries and Libra respectively. So let us begin, and before I get into the predictions, I'm going to give you a general cosmic report. Okay, what can you expect, what's happening, what are the energies like, and all of that. So let's straight delve into this. So we have Rahu and Ketu, who are the nodes of the moon. Okay, Rahu and Ketu. Now Rahu is male, whereas Ketu is hermaphrodite. It's very important to remember these things. 12th of April 2022 at 11:18 a.m. Bombay time. Check for your own timings. We have at 11:18 a.m., as I said, Rahu moves into Aries and Ketu moves into Libra, right? And they stay there till 29th October 2023, right? So this is quite a long time. It's 18 months, and this is rife with potential to change our lives. So now, how will Rahu and Ketu give results? The thing is that, of course, they will give us results according to the archetypes of Aries and Libra, as well as according to the nakshatras they pass through. And as you know, nakshatras have padas. So nakshatras have padas, so it depends on that, okay, on the two signs and the nakshatras. I'll get into great detail about all these things. So there are 4 planetary changes in April 2022. So this is a month of much change and much fluctuations and shifts that we'll all experience, right? Now there's Saturn moving into Aquarius, and there's Jupiter moving into Pisces. Now, interestingly, both these planets will be in their domicile at this moment, right? Now, when Rahu and Ketu make this move on the 12th, how will the skies be? What will the planetary alignment look like? So, we have the Sun in Aries. This is Vedic astrology, sidereal astrology. We have Sun in Aries. We have Mercury in Taurus. We have Venus exalted in Pisces, and we still have Saturn in Capricorn, because Saturn has a few days after this transit to slip into Aquarius, right? So this is what the skies will look like that day when Rahu and Ketu make their foray into these two signs after 19 years. So this is a big time scale that we are talking about, and a time scale of great importance, okay, according to the houses that it is affecting. Now we've got Rahu and Ketu, the explanation and understanding of Rahu and Ketu that I'll get into. So as you know, these are the nodes of the moon, right? And both Rahu and Ketu are karmic indicators, okay? Yes, hey Red. So today is the day of Mars. Aha, today is the day of Mars, so makes sense. So as I was saying, that Rahu and Ketu are indicators of fate and destiny. Now I want you to refer to my article. I want you to refer to my article that I have written, and also predictions that I've given as a written text. And it differs slightly from the video, because the video is more concise, whereas the writing is a more creative license to express myself. Blessings, guys, blessings. Please welcome to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out the memberships that I'm offering on my channel. I'll be greatly pleased if you guys decide to become members. You will get your own Sun, Moon, Ascendant video. Now, as I said, that karma of not just this life, but Rahu, Ketu hold the karma of our many previous lives. So when you think of this situation, think of Rahu and Ketu as a string, and think of your soul and its different personalities that it has lived as pearls, and you have this beautiful pearl necklace. So Rahu and Ketu is what holds all of these personalities together through different incarnations. It is their responsibility to link these incarnation, right? So they are linkages. They are tied to not only our past as well as our future, because Rahu is future oriented. Now let us understand that Rahu and Ketu are really important. You realize that even if you don't know astrology, you immediately realize that when you think that they have the power to eclipse the luminaries. Okay, who are the luminaries? The sun and the moon. So when you think of Rahu and Ketu being able to eclipse the sun and the moon, you realize their importance. You realize how deeply connected they are to all the souls experiencing, their lessons, their lives, their memories, their histories in this part of the universe. So always remember that eclipses occur near Rahu and Ketu. So, of course, depending upon the sign that they traverse in, eclipses will take place in those signs. Okay. Now, when you have a new moon, you have a solar eclipse. What's a new moon? When the sun and the moon are together. Okay, that is a solar eclipse. When you have a full moon, then you have a lunar eclipse. What's a full moon? When the sun and the moon are exactly 180 degrees apart. That is, they are opposite one another. Okay, so now remember that Rahu, Ketu are eclipsing the two luminaries, as I said, the sun and the moon, the father and the mother. The sun is primeval consciousness, okay, our consciousness, the light within us, right? And the moon, and not only that, sun is the very ruler of the solar system, right? And the moon is responsible for life on earth. Without the moon, there would be no life on earth. So, she's the mother, the nurturer. Thereby, she holds domicile in Cancer. So now, when you think of the Rahu and Ketu, then I'm reminded of the alchemists of yore who believed in the process Nigrido. Now, they believed that they could extract gold from lead, the ancient alchemists. And welcome, please. So the thing is that Nigrido is a process of blackening, darkening, and this is the process before the gold can take shape. Okay, Carl Jung used this terminology of the alchemists, and he called the Nigrido state the dark night of the soul. And it is only after the dark night of the soul does individuation occur. Individuation as in moksha or liberation. So I go into quite a bit of depth in my article about Nigrido and about Carl Jung and his ideas on Nigrido and how he used it as a psychoanalytic tool. Nice. Now, before, as I said, before the light, before the gold is extracted, we have the process of Nigrido. So what do Rahu and Ketu do? They momentarily cause Nigrido, or blackening, darkening, whereby they take out the power of the luminaries to shine light on us. So they are, in fact, this eclipse is almost like a point of the blackening that the eclipse begins. And when we look at it from the earth, this blackening is the state before we realize the light. Okay, so this is something to think about, before we realize the light. And so they are connected to eternal cycles, Rahu and Ketu, to birth and death and day and night and creation and destruction. Namaste. Right? And of course, when you think of rebirth, you think of transformation. So Rahu and Ketu will always be agents of transformation, alchemical transformation, because they bring in the state of Nigrido before they shine the light, before they help us shine our own internal light. Okay? So keep that in mind. They're karmic indicators. They cause the dark night of the soul, so we may face, so we may realize the process of individuation, which is liberation. Now, when the sun and moon experience rebirth, right? They are pregnant with new information, with new wisdom. Maybe calling it information is not correct, wisdom. Because Rahu Ketu brings to us wisdom from the past as well as the future, right? So that is really special because the sun and the moon after eclipses are pregnant with new wisdom, stellar wisdom, so to speak. And when we think of the power, right, the power to rebirth the luminaries, it's not a small feat, mind you, that, right? The power to rebirth lies with these two shadowy bodies. Thank you. These two shadowy bodies, okay? And so what do we understand by that? That they are the ultimate controllers of destiny, because the sun and the moon are pretty much the reason why we are here. So when these two shadowy points have the power to eclipse the sun and the moon, the father and the mother, that means they are ultimately controlling our complete destiny. There's something very fated about Rahu and Ketu, and this is the connection that I am seeking to bring to light. Now, they are known as Chaya Grahas or shadowy planets. Chaya means shadow, Graha means planet. Okay, and they do not actually exist in forms, they are mathematical points. They're ephemeral, okay, they have no physical substance, yet they are rife with potential, right? And we cannot deny that potential because of the eclipses. So whatever brand of astrology you follow, if you are leaving out Rahu and Ketu, understanding them, assigning to them the correct role, then you are indeed missing out a great deal of wisdom, of how to better glean wisdom from your natal chart. Now, when we come to Rahu and Ketu, we think, I told you, they are always two signs apart. They move backwards and they come into a sign from 29 degrees and they move on. Or, and I'm sorry, they stay for, as I said, 18 months, and their whole cyclical orbit is 19 years, right? So they are ephemeral, they don't have any substance or any real, they're not a real planetary body. And when we think of them in opposite signs, you think of a balance that they're trying to bring to these two signs that they are transiting through, or natally, or the polarity, the balance of the two opposites, right? That's really important here. And when you think of opposites, it's almost like a tug and pull. You tug and there's a pull, you tug and there's a pull. So there's this energy always happening with Rahu and Ketu. Rahu is taking you towards your past lives, Ketu is taking you towards your future. Rahu is making you hungry, insatiable. Ketu is making you kind of apathetic, like, okay, it's something I'm familiar with. I can get back to it. I know it. This is the feeling that they tend to generate. Now, they work on us internally, psychologically, and through psychological, that when we think of things, right? Thoughts become words, and words become actions, and actions become habits, and habits become karma, right? So when you think of Rahu and Ketu in two polarities, they are trying to not only balance, but they are trying to work on us internally, psychologically, and then physically. There is, of course, a physiological change as well with Rahu and Ketu. Keep that in mind. Now, the focus with these planets are, if you have like somebody with Moon and Rahu, Nakshatra like me, Satavisha, then we operate through instinct. We focus on instinct more than rationality or anything. It's a deep instinctual feeling that drives us. Anybody with Rahu and Ketu dominant, even if you have Rahu in the first house or say Ketu in the first house, you are driven by instinct. Now, as Rahu exaggerates and adds, I've told you that Rahu is a principle of addition. Rahu adds. Whereas Ketu subtracts, okay, subtracts, and Ketu's other thing is Ketu obfuscates things or obscures things, does not permit us to see through the veil, okay, the veil of Ketu. There are many inner dilemmas that will appear at this time, choices that have to be made. You know, we have to understand the repercussions of our actions. And of course, there's going to be a hardcore tug and pull of morals and existing in the physical world as it is. Okay, so that. Now, when you think of Rahu and Ketu, they are enemies of the sun and the moon. So, for instance, if you have that Rahu in Leo, it's not a good placement. It's a complicated placement. Okay, so you have to always understand the dignity of, hello, you have to always understand the dignity of Rahu and Ketu in your natal chart. That's really important for you to understand how Rahu and Ketu will operate for you. What energies are they bringing? And then of course you have to see your D9 chart, because the Kundli chart is one thing, the moon chart is emotional, there's a nakshatra chart, and the D9 chart essentially is your destiny chart. Say you have a very strong planet in your Kundli chart, it's not necessarily no, you can offer coconut water, not a problem at all. Many people in the south offer coconut water regularly to Shivling. There's not a problem at all with that. Fret not, you've made no mistake, okay? So as I said, that the D9 chart is the destiny chart. It is going to tell you that if you have, say, a strong planet or a weak planet, it doesn't have to be that that is the destiny of the planet. That's why you check your D9 chart to better understand the. I'm sorry, I couldn't read it because I was just talking and I was not concentrating. Sorry. Okay, now the sun and the moon, as I said, the two luminaries are really important. Why? Because the sun has created the solar system. It's his game that we are in, right? And the moon is because of her that we have high tide, low tide, is because of her that women have menstrual cycles and we can conceive children. So the moon is literally completely connected to procreation, human procreation, right? So there. Now, Rahu and Ketu, they represent cosmic law. Always remember that they represent cosmic law. And no one can escape this cosmic law. Because, I mean, imagine if the sun and the moon cannot escape it, who are we to try? Nobody can escape the cosmic, karmic law of Rahu and Ketu. Now, we cannot also, us as humans, we cannot understand our higher selves, okay, without Rahu and Ketu. Now, in my blog, I write about this very beautiful thing that, when the Kshirasagara was churned by the gods and by the demons, then before the little magical heavenly offerings came up from the Kshirasagara, there came a massive amount of poison, a tsunami of poison, right? And Shiva, being who he is, he consumed the poison without even thinking about it. And then he died. And, Shiva, the creator, doesn't die, but, it ended his cycle. But Tara, the Devi is in her form as Tara, breastfed Shiva, gave her breast milk to sustain his life and to bring him back from death, right? And this sacrifice of Shiva is so very important because it's connected deeply to Rahu and Ketu, and it is also said that worshipping the lingam at this time is indeed a great practice. Okay, so I do workshops on how to worship the Shiv lingam in 5 minutes, which is again a simplified workshop, mostly for people all around the world who cannot take out hours and hours and hours for all the, nyasas, mudras, abhishek, tarpan, but they want to quickly, simply pay obeisance to the Shivlingam by bathing it. I do a very special workshop for them where I teach you everything, basics of everything, and it is accomplished within 5 minutes. So every day, 5 minutes of your time, you can literally dedicate to Shiv Puja. But once you do that, you realize Shiva inside, and that is the ultimate goal of Tantra, to realize Shiva Shakti inside. Shivoham, that means I am Shiva. Shivoham. Even chanting Shivoham is a great practice that you can start Om Namah Shivaya and Shivoham. So we have that connection to our higher selves, because at that moment of sacrifice, in the moment of really deep challenges, do we get to tune into this energy that is mostly not accessible at all times. So this is what Rahu and Ketu is going to bring for us as they okay, just a sec, I had all my notes, and okay, right. So now the thing is that, as I said, that Rahu and Ketu bring Nigredo, the alchemical process of Nigredo, which is also used by Carl Jung and the psychoanalysts to symbolize the dark night of the soul. So as they bring about this momentary Nigredo or blackness or darkness, we see things, when it's dark, and you try this, when it's dark and it's dark around you and you sit in this room all by yourself, you tend to think about life like you can't if you're in a party and you're surrounded by 50 people. Darkness brings about an introspection. In the Secret Doctrine, Blavatsky gives a beautiful paragraph on darkness and the beauty of darkness, and how darkness is construed in the Western society as something evil. But darkness is actually the true propensity of all creation. Every form, every thought, every idea, everything exists in the void that Buddhists call Shunyata. So it is from Shunyata, which Hindus call Brahman, Parabrahm. It's from Shunyata that all forms arise. Shiva himself, thank you. Don't fear anything. If anything in life, know one thing, that there is nothing to fear. If you have love in your heart, if you have peace in your soul, there is absolutely nothing to fear from Yakshinis. Last of all, Yakshinis, there's nothing to even fear from Vetals or jinns or beings like that, for they cannot feed on you. As long as you have a clean and beautiful heart, there is nothing for you to be afraid of. Remember that. And Yakshinis are mothers. They are not anything other than Adi Prakriti herself. As I am a symbol of Adi Prakriti, so are they. We are all of us are symbols of Adi Prakriti. So remember that. Now, wherever Rahu and Ketu sits for you, this is the axis indicating our soul's growth from one life to another. For instance, someone like me, I've got Rahu in Virgo, okay, and I've got Ketu in Pisces. So it's kind of like, Ketu to me is actually the completion of my hero's journey. And incidentally also, if you read Joseph Campbell's Hero's Journey, you see him describe Pisces as a place where you have the freedom to live. So for me, Ketu inhabiting Pisces, which happens to be my 8th house of death and rebirth, I feel like Ketu in some ways signifying to me this complexity of life and the simplicity of life and the freedom to be able to live. and to realize that all these demons and all these stigmas that I've been fighting in all the past 12 signs have actually been from my own mind, from my own manifested mind. So that's a very interesting story, but that's a story for another day. Remember, Ketu will always signify for you, especially if it sits in Pisces, that I think you're trying to say figure. It's not Figar, but yeah, yes, exactly. So when you think of that, you think of Ketu in some way being the ruler, I mean a planetary ruler that tells me how to live. Okay, like the freedom to live, how to be free when I live. And incidentally, Ketu also happens to rule my Mercury as well as my Saturn, because he is the ruler of Magha. So there's something very interesting that happens if you look deeply into this, okay? Now, Ketu is the past, I told you, connects us to past lives. So that's why healing in metaphysics and other worldly experiences, and psychic phenomena and a strengthened TSP has always been like, because I have that Pisces and I have that in my 8th house. So, and I have my Ketu over there. So I've always been sort of tuned to the world of others, so to speak. It was difficult to balance, but I guess, as it grows in you, you realize the beauty and the magnificence of it all. And fear sort of becomes wonder and awe. That's why I was saying there's literally nothing to be afraid of. No matter what your astrological D9 Lal Kitab positions are, there's absolutely nothing to be afraid of. Have love in your heart, have hope and peace in your soul, and there is nothing you need to be afraid of. So this is something that I teach all my students. For fear is, something that, yes, yeah, that's what it is, Red, right? You and me have experienced it together, haven't we? So in a sense, that's what it is. It's about not fearing a thing, okay? And actually, Rahu Ketu bring about a kind of crazy sort of, courage, crazy courage. Yes, that's a nice quote. I agree. That is, if you remind me later, Red, maybe I could put it up on my Facebook with a picture and a quote. Like, so many things I say, but I just don't always get to write it down. Yes. Okay. So now the thing is that Rahu is our future. Okay, the thing is that the past shapes the present. We know that, right? The past also is shaping the present, thereby shaping the future, right? Now, the thing is, but we don't really know anything except the now. Think about it. The past has already happened. But we humans tend to overcompensate. We tend to create false memories. So the past is not always what really happened, but what happened in our minds, in our hearts. So, every human being is known to create false memories. Obviously, this is a mechanism we employ. The mind employs this mechanism, right? Hello, nice. Now, when we think about the past or the future, we don't know about them. For here we are suspended in the present moment. Okay? The past is gone. It's not here anymore, right? Yeah, totally. Yes, this is going to be very important this month for all of us, guys. Remember, April, 4 planetary movements. Saturn moves into Vedic Aquarius. Pisces moves into Vedic Jupiter moves into Pisces Vedic, right? So it's going to be crazy. And of course, we have our very own Rahu and Ketu moving in to Aries and Libra. Bam! Now, the thing is that we need to understand that Rahu and Ketu is here to destroy the vestiges of ego. ego-driven self. Okay, we are so consumed by hubris, uh, and it's their task as if to deliver us from this hubris. It's toxic, believe me. This utter avarice that this modern consumerist society is so hell-bent on exploring more than anything else. Now, so Rahu and Ketu shape not only our individual karma, but our collective karma. Okay, so now when we look at the natural zodiac, we see that they are entering. Uh, yes, yes, yes. I have my most detailed reading is $280, but I do have basic reading for $150, and my intermediate reading is $180. So if you are interested, you can PayPal the amount to tina@tinahills.com, or else you can drop me an email. Now, so the thing is that these false memories make sure that the past is not what it is, and there's an uncertainty about the future. Okay, even people like me who can see shapes and colors and sounds, and we sometimes catch a glimpse of a scene, and then we realize that okay, this is it. And it's happened to me that so many times I've seen things that have happened, and but we still don't know, because the wave particle duality, it's the observer who creates a reality. For here we are, placed to observe. That is why the universe may be existing at all. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the recommendation. Thank you. But I honestly suggest all of you guys become a member, because by becoming a member, Red, I'm still to do your fifth house video. I'll get to that. But by becoming a member, you guys are going to get your Sun, Moon, Ascendant videos free. And then once a month, if you're in the top tier membership, you get to suggest a video topic. So, and there'll be, once we get a few more members, there'll be like live chats exclusive for members. Okay. Thank you, Red. Thank you so much. Okay, so now let's get here that, okay, another thing is that Rahu signifies mental delinquency, okay, and also disturbed dreams. So expect a lot of disturbed dreams or some kind of prophetic dreams. I'm saying that today, but incidentally, I had a crazy dream today. I just dreamt of someone completely random from my past, whom I never dream of. Never. So I was a bit like shocked, because there I was writing out these horoscopes, because all the 12 sign Ketu predictions, Rahu Ketu predictions, I'm jotting them all down in text as well. So you can have a text version if you so want. The video version, you have a text version, and there's a lot more in the text version, because again, the video version I tend to keep it concise. So there. Now the thing is that also remember that Rahu will also, because of all this mental anguish, mental delinquency, wrong thoughts, they can push us towards falsehoods, like something that we really believe in, and we start to believe in it at that time, and then that's it. Nothing else exists in the world. Our truth is the only truth. So bigotry, fanaticism is also on the rise, because the Rahu is a signifier of assassins and what have you. So there. Now we come to, by the use of Ketu, we begin to see the past to break such falsehoods, okay, because Ketu brings to us past experiences and mistakes we've repeated, maybe over different incarnations. We've repeated all these mistakes and we are still doing them. Like as Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So that's what we are literally doing the same things over and over, different lifetimes, and we expect to get different results. But that's not going to happen, because you will see the same results from that same test that you are carrying out. And this test has now become a toxic habit that you need to break. Now, when we think of Rahu and Ketu, we think of opposing or contrasting purposes. So this this tug and pull, the tug and pull. It means Rahu in its hungry state is taking us to one place, and Ketu's like, no, let's go to the past. And Rahu's like, fuck the present, let's go to the future. And Ketu's like, no, let's look at the past, because your time doesn't exist. Everything is happening all in one go, right? Because if you accelerate fast enough, then time seems to freeze. There is no time. So time by itself, like we have space, we also have time, and time can, although we don't see a kind of like a something attached to time, right, like a particle attached to time, but there are time particles and they're called time crystals. So Saturn does have a form in the form of time crystals. So that's just another very interesting astronomy topic to debate about, actually, the fifth dimension of time. uh, Now, when we think about, okay, so Rahu gives, as I said, addition, Ketu takes away, subtraction. Always remember that. And they always give contrary results, right? Contrary results to one another. And this can create fear, because suddenly we see something in our lives that we had lived a certain way, and they are changing suddenly. So this unexpected sudden change can be very traumatic for us, because we like our little habits, we like our tried and tested ways. So when something just comes out of the blue and completely dethrones that regime that we had created, that's when we fear, like afraid what's going to happen to us. What does tomorrow hold? I mean, what we all fear right now with coronavirus and an impending war, possibly, what not. There's a new strain coming. So they're not going to end with this. It's no, I don't actually. I look after many animals, so I'm like really, I don't travel. But the thing is, now that you bring it up, my sweet, I have Rahu moving into my ninth house, because I'm a Leo ascendant. So I have Rahu moving into my ninth house of long distance travel. So if there ever was a time for me to travel, this would be now, because Rahu also sits for me in the second house of income. So travel for income, and Ketu is in the eighth house of occult, metaphysics. So all of that. We don't know. Yes, I know. I've been planning forever, but honestly, I don't see it happening, because I've just got so much going on here, and with travel restrictions. But yeah, I'd love to do that. I would love to do that. Lovely. You must work on that. Now, so we have all these unexpected results, and that can really paranoid us. The thing with Rahu is that Rahu tends with, let's see, I have no idea. Maybe you guys can manifest long distance travel for me. I can't do it myself, because obviously I've tried and tried and tried, and it's kind of given up. So here I am in this crazy city, just trying to, just trying to be. But let's see, if something happens, that'll be really great. So as I was saying, that Rahu tends to tempt us with deception, okay? And this deception, like, oh, look here, wow, this is great for you. And you're like, oh my God, that is... I was in Bangalore a little while ago, a month ago actually. I was in Bangalore. So Rahu tempts with deception, deceives us and then pushes us somewhere and then causes self-sabotage. Ketu, and of course remember, Rahu gives with it an insatiable appetite to conquer things. You keep conquering, keep conquering, keep conquering, keep getting, keep receiving, and then suddenly Ketu makes you realize that all this was literally for nothing. Because what can you conquer? You can only conquer your lower self. There's literally nothing else that you can conquer. Wow, there's a nice breeze coming. Feels good. It's getting a bit hot. Okay. Now back to Ketu creating illusions for us to see, like, look, this is an illusory situation, like an oasis. You know, you're going through the desert, and you're going through the desert, and then there you see some water. Yeah, winds of change. I seriously hope so. I really require them. Winds of change, yes. So, so illusions that we start chasing with Ketu, and then we become disappointed because we realize that, oh my God, how many lifetimes have we played this game, and now we are tired, and dissatisfaction, soul dissatisfaction, that's when depression occurs. Mental health is affected when we have patterns of self-sabotage and a deep dissatisfaction. A deep dissatisfaction, so remember that. Rahu signifies foreigners, foreign things, and foreign tastes. Okay. Uh, I love foreign cultures. I, for one, being a Rahu ruled moon nakshatra, you know, Satavisha. I love foreign places, foreign people, foreign cultures, you know, different traditions. I absolutely love it. So Rahu brings this kind of attraction to foreign people, to foreign cultures, and a ready acceptance of foreign cultures. Like, wow, okay, yeah. You tell me, hey, you want to come to Mars? I'll be like, yeah, let's go, right? So you tell me, hey, you want to come to the mosque? I'll be like, yeah, let's go. You want to read the Quran on a Friday? Absolutely. You want to read the Torah? Absolutely. So this kind of acceptance, because Rahu people are always looking at every single thing. They're trying to understand, because you know this future, the impulsive future, is like saying that come, more, the more, hungry, insatiable all the time. When you have all the local things, they don't have any interest anymore, because you're losing interest. Oh my God, it's right there. So Rahu ruled people always tend to chase foreign things and foreign cultures, or even have foreign people more attracted to them. This is also something that I have seen. Now, Rahu acts like Saturn and gives Vata or airy imbalances, whereas Ketu acts like Mars and gives Pitta or fiery imbalances. Okay, so Ketu in that sixth house will give you Pitta problems for sure. So then you need to check where Ketu is. You need to understand, even in the first house, Ketu can give all kinds of Pitta problems. Rahu can give all kinds of Vata problems. Okay. Now, when you think of Saturn, certain things Rahu rules, like poisons. Both Rahu and Ketu rule poisons actually, but Rahu more like the airy poisons, like viral, all of that, epidemics, both. And you know, when you think of poisons like snake bites and all, that's also Rahu, but sometimes it's also Ketu. But this coronavirus thing is Rahu, because it's Vata, it's air. So drugs, power, so pharmaceuticals, yes. It's going to be huge for pharmaceutical companies right now, because, you know, Aries is very fast moving. So Mars rule, right? So it's like, let's go, let's do this. Let's see what pharmaceutical innovations. And of course, Rahu rules IT. Massive IT upgrades. Internet technology is going to go through the roof in the next 18 months. Expect innovations that, I mean, I don't even know what to say. Expect crazy innovations in the IT sector, electronic sector, electricity. Now we have hegemony, authority, power, occult, tantra, mantra, black magic as well, sorcery, ambition. Rahu can be very ambitious. I told you, insatiable. Insatiable. Rahu can make you. So, as I said, Rahu is Vata, air element, so impacts all aspects of air travel, airborne bacteria, anything to do with air, okay, even sound actually, because sound travels through air. Yes, yes, yes. And any kind of air accidents as well. Like we had that Malaysian plane that just disappeared. Do you remember? So things like that, crazy things like that, Rahu, and especially in Aries, because Aries is known for war. So some kind of innovation in war also, a war technology, drone technology, because again drones are floating in the air. So massive drone scenarios are gonna happen, and drone is gonna be like a part of our lives, like mobiles are now. Drones will be a part of our life. Now, in a big way, I mean, in a big way, Amazon will be delivering through drones, and we're going to see a lot of drone technology, a lot of drone technology. Now, we've got astrology, which Rahu rules. Yes, astrology. So, there'll be an astrological rebirth. Sort of people are going to be like really interested in astrology. Hopefully they'll get charts done. It's a good time to get your chart done because, you know, Aries, you want to get things done. So Rahu there is sort of pushing you towards watching astrology videos, reading that blog, and you may be like, "Ugh, I want to get my astrology chart done," and bam, that's it. Esoterica, so interest in like astrological magic maybe will be increased. Jupiter is also moving into Pisces, remember. So ceremonies and magic of all sorts is going to be on the rise. And thank you so much for being here for so long. Thank you. So now, Tantra as well as skin diseases. So if you have, yes, so if you have, a lot of people are going to be doing astrological magic right now. You know, whether they're using Pico tricks, which is the Persian, Arabic, um Greco-Hellenistic version, or whether they use Vedic astrological magic, there will be a rise of magic of all kinds and ceremonies and pujas, and all of this will be on the rise. People will take a turn towards spirituality in a massive way, something that we cannot even comprehend right away, but we'll see it happen, believe me. There will be, as I said, skin disease can be exacerbated, like eczema, acne, especially if you have that Aries in the first house. Um, even Aries in the sixth house. You can have like Scorpio rising, then you can have bad acne, right? Bad acne. Now, when we come to uh, smallpox, it's been eradicated, but we may see that in some places we suddenly hear that, okay, smallpox, there's a case of smallpox that's been reported. Now, deception, because Rahu also symbolizes deception, so deception will be at an all-time high. Because, with Aries, it's always like movement. So deceptive people will find the necessary energy to be deceptive. Let's just put it that way. Subversion, of course. Rahu's subversive energy, will take you down using mechanisms of subversion and political interest. A lot of people, maybe it's their ninth house is getting triggered with an interest in politics. So a lot of people, depending on the houses, of course, that is being affected, they can develop an interest. 10th house also is very interested in politics, actually. So you can just feel like, oh my God, I'm going to look into politics. Some may even decide to join politics. Science. Science will be on the rise, and there'll be a lot of scientific data. Space exploration, Rahu is space, so there'll be this space exploration thing that's happening. A lot of information about deep space, about images, uh, you know different astronomical things are going to come to light, and that just drives me crazy. because I follow astronomy, and I just love that subject so much. I mean, anything to do with the stars, I'm right there. That's also Satavisha Rahu, actually. This crazy love of stars is this Rahu pushing me, egging me on, that I'm making a living through it, because the Rahu is in the second house of income. So it's crazy. Uh, Execution. So again, policies and execution, and Aries rules the head. So a lot of people may literally, the government may be like off with their heads. So public executions of all kinds. I don't mean public like how they used to have in the Middle Ages. I mean like public is in maybe people are getting death row inmates are being in some way they're dying through the head, because we don't have decapitation anymore. We're just given electric shocks. I don't even think electric shocks. I think we are just given a poison. Rahu, poison. So again, Rahu rules poison. Execution. Execution happening through poison. That's so Rahu, right? Now, diseases of all kinds. Yes, I'll get into detail when I do the 12 signs prediction. You should check your sun, check your moon and ascendant. You may check your sun, but don't forget to check your moon and ascendant for sure. I have them written already. Go to my blog and you can see till Libra. I have not done the rest. I shall complete it by tomorrow, day after. So we've got sorcery. So, putting curses on people, blood magic, demonic magic, where you are calling on the demons like Azazel or Beelzebub, and, demonic magic to make them, to sort of control a demon to get them to do your bidding. Okay, or jinn magic, jinn magic. Jinn magic is when you get a jinn to do your bidding. Okay, and jinn, again, remember, jinn live in this etheric air element. So I'm going to make a video about jinns for sure. But yeah, so black magic, sorcery, and also I spend a lot of time doing healing magic for people who have been afflicted with curses. So again, that Rahu in the second house, like it gives you the poison, it also gives you the antidote. It's crazy how it works, actually. So cruelty of all kinds, Mars is cruel. If you look at the lower vibrations, Aries is cruel, Rahu is cruel. So there'll be cruelty. And also Rahu signifies slaughter of innocent animals as well, slaughterhouses. So in some way, there's going to be some kind of change over there. Uh, the people who work in slaughterhouses suffer from PTSD, because I mean, how can we expect a person to make a living, to pay their bills, pay for things that they need by cutting up animals? I mean, how does that make sense? Please, I don't know. What century are we at? I mean, what are we doing? So that's something to think of. Antibiotics. So there'll be different kinds of yes, different kinds of antibiotics. That the new kinds of antibiotics will possibly come up. IT sector will see a massive boom in the IT sector. Gambling. A lot of people, you want to gamble away, but just don't gamble your life's funds away. A lot of sex. Rahu's also very, Rahu Ketu can be both pretty into amorous adventures. Rahu sex is male. Okay, so and dark complexion. Rahu is known to have dark complexion. So if you have like Rahu in the first house, I mean, even if you're a fair person or somebody with fair complexion, you'll always have a darkness or black patches, something like that. Okay, a Rahu is southwest direction. So when you're doing Om Ran Rahave Namaha, which is the mantra I gave you for Rahu, then you face southwest and say Om Ram Rahave Namaha, Om Ran Rahave Namaha. Okay, so this is a mantra that you can do facing southwest. And if you want gemstones, gomed or onyx, okay, which is hessonite, I think. Hessonite is gomed. You can wear that in this finger on the left. Now, if you are trying to do color therapy, wear dark colors, blue, dark blue, black also for Rahu, to appease Rahu, especially like I said, if you are a Rahu heavy person, Rahu in the ascendant, Rahu ruler of your moon, or Rahu ruling the nakshatra of your final dispositor, anything. Now when we think of Ketu, Ketus of various colors, of variegated colors, okay, many colors. And Ketu, by being of various colors, shows us the magnificence of nature in her various manifestations. And the work of Ketu is to create roadblocks, to create traffic jams, all kinds of problems, commotion, disruption, you know. And all of this causes pain, causes suffering, because, you have that flight to take, you have that place to be at. So you can't be late, right? So you need to go. And by giving you all of this suffering, it is actually ridding you of the excess baggage from not only this life, but from past lives. Because, who knows, if you were not stopped at that point, who knows what you would do, right? Who knows what you would do? What karma you would accrue? You can't say that with any certainty. Now, the thing is that the thing with Ketu is Ketu keeps pulling you to the same mistake over and over again, and you feel like, oh my God, I've done this, I've been here. What? And it's like, it's not just a mistake in this life, but it's a mistake you've been doing in many past lives. And Ketu's making you repeat it and repeat it and repeat it till your soul is like, stop. I'm not doing that anymore. Okay, so that is how Ketu reminds you of all the torture, the suffering. So learn up the lesson already. Come on. Okay, so literally, disharmony is what Ketu does. And when you're in a state of disharmony, or you're just really upset, it's then when you want to solve things. It's then when you want to give up. Okay, I've had enough of that. Don't want to go down that path. I've had enough of that, right? And ultimately, once you sit in silence, and you tend to think that, okay, I'm not going to go after that. I'm done. I'm tired. And you sit for a moment, and the right thing comes before you, the right person comes before you. So in all of this state of disarray, your mind going helter skelter, you just find 1 nanosecond of silence, and then you're like, thank you, but I am going to do the Bala Tripura Sundari video, believe me. And as I said, this knowledge is not mine. It's not my knowledge. I have been given this knowledge from my Ishtadevata for you. So I cannot be all ego driven about it, and it's got nothing to do with me. I am just a medium. Now, when you understand the divine truth, the divine plan, then you sort of sit back. This happened to me. Once I realized I can't say I realized the meaning of why everything was the way it was, or why I had all those painful experiences. And at that time, it was like, what? Why me? I've just tried to be good. I've just tried to be good. And then in that moment of total chaos and confusion, I cannot say I understood why, but I can say I understood that it's perfect. It's perfect the way it is. And if I have to go back and do my life all over again, I will not change a thing, because it's perfect. Everything that happened, every tear, every cut, every scratch, every drop of blood was worth it. because that has made me the person that I am today. And to embrace your wounds is also what Chiron teaches. Chiron is very much like Ketu in that sense. To embrace your wound, to know that all the pain and all the suffering is ultimately just the way it's meant to be. But then you can see that there is a soul's journey. This is the state of Negredo. Everything is black. Everything is in utter confusion, you know. Everything is in its primordial state of blackness. So that is it. Now Ketu has fiery nature, accidents related to fire, injuries related to fire, and but Ketu is not all bad. If you have Ketu in your Lagna chart with a benefic, and if that position is solidified by your D9 chart, then Ketu will give you everything that you seek. Okay, everything that you seek. Now, the Ketu symbol, some of the people that are associated with Ketu is sadhus, yogis, uh, assassins and murderers as well. So he said that Rahu is also associated to murders, Ketu is also associated to murders, but the way they are performed is different. Right? And as I said, Rahu is more subversive, but Ketu will use like fire, or even bullets are fire actually. Think of that. But bullets do travel through the air. So I was just talking to an astrologer about this, that, what are the significations of this. So that we'll make another video for. But let us quickly understand that Ketu also symbolizes trouble through cats. So I have Ketu in my 8th house, and I've given my heart to my felines that I have been looking after for over a decade and a half. It's because I have a lot of feline energy. I've got everything, all of my planets are pretty much in Leo, except that moon opposite in Aquarius. So I've got my Mercury, I've got my Mars, I've got my Venus exactly on the ascendant in Purva Falguni, and I've got my Saturn. I've got my Saturn exactly conjunct my Mercury. I've got my Venus exactly on the ascendant, and I've got Mars 2-3 degrees into Uttara Falguni. So I have a lot of feline energy, right? So cats are obviously going to be something that I love, but more so than that, because it's this 8th house, I've had this really life-changing experiences with the death of my cats. Okay, and losing them, as in a sense, there's this chaotic monkey mind. No, not Rahu, Ketu. Ketu symbolizes trouble through cats. So trouble through cats. The ancients said that Ketu will signify trouble through cats. So when you see that, you heard that man jumped into a lion's cage and got mauled by the lion. He possibly had that in that, first house or 8th house. And just got completely 12th house, completely got mauled. Zoos are places of seclusion, so yeah, 12th house. But yeah, I mean, trouble through cats in a sense. Imagine trouble. Say you have that Ketu in the 6th house, and maybe you have a cat, and your cat has fallen sick, and you have to keep taking it to the doctor, taking him or her to the doctor. So like that. Maybe you have that Ketu in the 5th house, and then you have a child, and then your child is allergic to cats, and now you can't like keep your cat because your child is allergic. So what do you do? So trouble with cats. There's a subtle nuance to this. Trouble. You love your cats. There's no doubt about that. But this trouble, the problem aspect will come through the house that Ketu sits in and the sign that it sits in. And of course, ESP, extrasensory perceptions of all kinds, meditation, introspection, desire for knowledge, the occult realms, otherworldly realms, fantasy, imprisonment also. Ketu also signifies imprisonment. So Ketu in the 12th house with a malefic can signify imprisonment, incarceration, poisons, intrigues. Intrigues, believe me, Ketu sits in my 8th house of death, taxes, inheritance, rebirth, and I've had the occult, of course, and psychology, the unconscious, and I've always had such crazy intrigues when it's come to these esoteric subjects, this kind of like also with birth and death experiences, I have to say. Magic, I said sorcery, magic, it also brings poverty. So Ketu at some point will show you what poverty is and will make you will explain to you and make you understand poverty. And of course, mystical experiences are galore. 8th house mystical experiences are galore with Ketu in the 8th house. Okay, now I think we have done, yes, lunar nodes. Now we are done with the understanding of Rahu and Ketu. And before I end, I'm going to give the 12 signs prediction in another video. I've already given you written text till Libra. Till Libra, you guys can go to my website, my blog right now, and you guys can check that out. Okay, all of that is available on my website. But what I have to give you right now with this, I think the next video will be about all the predictions. But what I want to tell you is, I'm going to tell you the nakshatras of Rahu and Ketu, right? So you understand the nakshatras, because it's going to be a huge video if I start doing, see how much notes is there. It's like a book, believe me. So let's get to it. So we have nakshatras, right? There are 27 nakshatras in our zodiacal chart. Now Rahu will enter Kritika Pada 4. From Taurus, Sidereal Taurus, Rahu enters Aries. So we know that Kritika, which is the nakshatra where Uchishta Ganpati, my Ishta Devata, is born. Kritika has one pada in Aries and the next 3 padas in Taurus. So Rahu has been traversing over Kritika pada 4, Kritika pada 3, Kritika pada 2. Now it's ready on the 12th to enter Kritika pada 1. Okay, the pada 4, sorry. And now we will basically, what will it do? It's gone through Kritika, and then it will go through 4 padas of Bharani. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, it'll go through 4 padas of Bharani, and after that Rahu will go through 4 padas of Ashwini, the first nakshatra. So it started off with Taurus. Taurus has 3 padas of Kritika, so it's come from pada 4 to pada 3 to pada 2 to pada 1. Then from pada 1 it's going to move into Bharani, pada 4, pada 3, pada 2, pada 1. Then from pada 1 of Bharani it will move into Ashwini. Okay, so on and so forth. Now Ketu will enter Vishakha. Okay, will enter Vishakha and go through 3 padas. It will go through pada 1, 2, 3, and then 4 padas of Swati and 2 padas of Chitra. Now beautifully I've got Swati videos made, nakshatras. You can understand all about Swati, you can understand all about Chitra through my nakshatra videos. Go on the nakshatra playlist. Kritika video is made, Bharani video is made, Ashwini video is made. So you can understand your nakshatras just by going through these videos. You don't have to go through tons of material, because for all the nakshatra videos that I've given you have the most amount of information that you can receive from any place, and I've simplified it and I've given to you the most important thing, and it's the most detailed work on nakshatras you will find on YouTube. So check all of these nakshatras out, because all these videos are done. Okay, I've done till Chitra. Now we come from, when did this last happen? When was Rahu and Ketu in Sidereal, Aries and Libra? Let's take a trip down memory lane. Let's get into our little time machine and go backwards, the past. It's Ketu calling us. Hey, look at me. 2003 August to 2005 March. 2003 August. Bam. Close your eyes right now. Take a deep breath. If you were born in 2003, baby, it's okay. This is like going to be a cray experience for you. So, all the best, kiddo. Now, for those of us that have lived quite a few winters, please close your eyes, take a deep breath, and go back around 2003. If you can't remember, it's all right. Go back to 2000 because all of us remember 2000. It was the new millennium. Yes. So how can we forget how 2000 was for us? So go back to 2000, then try to skip a year before, then try to skip another year, then come to 2003. Take a deep breath and release. Come slowly, slowly, let the clock start ticking. January, February, March, April, come to August. So from August, start to envision what life was back then. And then, do this in the night. 2003 August to 2005 March. What was going on in your life? What happened at that time? What was happening in this time frame? It's going to be huge. Okay, it's going to be huge. I actually met my husband in 2002 actually once, but we never really got talking, and he had my number and he called me sometime around March, and then by the time it was 2003 August, I was already with my husband. So it's our whole cycle comes full circle this time. It's crazy, and so what is happening for you? I want to know. Okay, let me know. Now Rahu is going to go through Kritika. So let's understand Rahu through Kritika. So Rahu is, of course, going to go to Aries. Aries is ruled by who? Aries is ruled by Mars. And the Nakshatras Kritika. Who is Kritika ruled by Sun? So what are the energies here? Rahu, who's a planet in question, moving into the sign of Mars. So Mars has come into the play. And the Nakshatra of the Sun. So we've got Rahu plus Mars plus Sun, and we see that Rahu and Mars can be a volatile combination. Oh, you were a baby. So Rahu and Ketu were like, Rahu and Mars are a volatile combination, and Rahu is Mars's enemy. So think about that. Okay. The best way to balance Rahu to Kritika is doing Uchishta Ganpati Puja, okay, which I teach as a workshop. So if you're interested to know more about Uchishta Ganpati, please email me. I've got tons and tons of blogs. I've also got a book coming up on Uchishta Ganpati, which you will be able to purchase through Amazon. And if you want at this time to dedicate your spiritual practice to Uchishta Ganpati, you will greatly benefit. You will greatly benefit. And especially, you can, Uchishta Ganpati pretty much rules all planets. I told you he's from Alcyone. Alcyone, the central sun, has provided information that is thought form that is being used in this solar system. So we are indebted forever to Alcyone or Uchishta Ganpati, because Alcyone is the birth of Uchishta Ganpati. So please, if you are interested in mantras and such, then it's the right time to start practicing. And Uchishta Ganpati mantra, Hasti Pisasi Lige Swaha, is one of his mantras. And the other one being Om Namo Bhagavate Ekadam Sraya Hasti Mukhaya Lamvodaraya Uchishta Mahatmane Em Krom Ring Gang Keke Swaha. This is one of his mantras. And of course, then you have Reem Hasti Pisasi Likhe Swaha or Reem Gang Hasti Pisasi Likhe Swaha. So I teach all of these mantras, and it's really amazing how Uchishta Ganpati has helped me. So I would suggest everybody look into Uchishta Ganpati, and if you're interested, drop me an email to do the workshop. Now then Rahu enters Bharani. Bharani on 13th of June 2022 to 20th of Feb 2023. So here we have Rahu plus Aries, which is Mars, plus Venus. Okay, so here we see pretty interesting combinations there. Rahu hates Venus again, and Ketu loves Venus actually, but Rahu hates Venus. Sorry. Then Rahu enters Ashwini on 20th Feb 2023 to 29th October 2023. So here we have Rahu plus Mars plus Ketu. Ketu rules 3 nakshatras: Ashwini, Magha, Mula. Rahu rules 3 nakshatras again: Ardra, Swati, and my nakshatra Satavisha. Okay, so these are the 3 nakshatras ruled by the 2 shadowy planets or Chaya Graha. Now Ketu, let's understand. If you want to know more about remedies or solutions, and I'll give you normal remedies, but if they don't work for you, get in touch with me. I do special remedial measures for clients from all over, so get in touch with me. Now Ketu in Vishakha, Ketu enters on 12th April 2022 to 18th October 2023, and in Swati till 18th October, and from 8 July moves into 2023, moves into Chitra. Now this is going to play out in multiple ways, of course, because depending on where these nakshatras fall, what are the bhavas from these nakshatras, what is the second house, the third house, all of that. So if you want a detailed chart about your transit, I do that as well. Get in touch with me. A detailed chart about the transit of Rahu and Ketu and how it will affect you. And as I said, I do combination charts, so I do Western tropical as well as Vedic. And in the Vedic, I also do multiple chart readings. So I read your Lagna chart, your Nakshatra chart, your moon sign chart, as well as your D9 chart, sometimes also your 8 divisional chart or Ashtavarga chart. So let me know if you want. Okay, I guess the remedies will have to wait because this video has just become too long, and it's going to be no thing. I've got remedies for all the signs, Rahu and Ketu, both planetary body remedies. So, and literally very easy, very, very easy to do. No great deal, nothing much needs to be done. So that. Now, having said that, if you want the written text of this ginormous compilation, then go to my blog. If you don't know my blog, just go to my Facebook or just go to my YouTube channel. Literally, all my socials are there. My Tina Hills blog, not my website, but my blog. I actually also bought my tarot because I was just going to do, 12 signs reading, and I was for all the 12 signs, and then I was going to do one card for each sign after the predictions. It's quite interesting how the tarot always adds another layer of meaning. I just love it. But anyway, I'm going to keep my thesis with me now, and as I said that if possible today, I'm not really sure. If possible, I'll come back with all the 12 signs and a detailed prediction. Oh, there's a huge detailed prediction coming up for that because remember, Rahu works like Saturn. So there's a Saturnine vibe to Rahu, and Ketu works like Mars. So yeah, we have quite a scenario happening for Capricorn because Capricorn's finally going to expunge Saturn. Don't forget that Capricorn's finally going to expunge Saturn, and Saturn will start sitting in his second house. So it's going to be quite an interesting time for them because ultimately getting Saturn off your chest It's gonna means that you shall now, you shall see what remains. You cut your losses, you have to see what remains, because you faced your karma now, you know. Saturn is, and especially for cap moons, OMG, because I am an Aquarius moon myself, so I have my Sadesati. In May, my Sadesati gets exact. Yeah, Capricorn again, another interesting energy if you think about it, because you know, Capricorn is the initiation. You know, we say that, like, you know, Scorpio is the initiation, but Scorpio is the walk towards the initiation. Capricorn is the ultimate initiation, because there you have Saturn, none other than Saturn. But you know what? I have all these each signs, and I've got them all written, but now I was just trying to look for Capricorn that you asked, but I can't find it. Like, what? Okay, Libra. To Libra we've gone, and now we've got Nakshatras, remedies. It's, I don't know. And now, look, I'm almost about to lose something else, so there. Okay, yeah. No, I've got Scorpio, I've got Sag. Okay, I guess there. And it's pretty breezy, you know, and I just randomly write all this in pieces of paper. And yeah, okay. I did find Capricorn. It's quite a long analysis, actually. I'm not typed this out for the blog yet, because you know I channel all this information. It's not like I can just sit on the computer and type it out. I have to write it out first, because it's all like meditative, and certain things I see, certain things I feel, certain sounds, certain, it's a different process. So it's not like a process of just left like writing it out, study the chart, write it out. Like I said, that I channel with the planets. I hope you can hear me. Channeling with the planets, keeping the, you know, energy of the planets inside of me as I write. So a lot of this is oftentimes automatic writing. A lot of this is just writing what comes to me, not thinking about it. Sometimes I even write horoscopes, and I just know the gist that, okay, for maybe Aries, is the first and seventh polarity, and I'm like, okay, but that's literally how much I look at. Okay, great. Now, people, listen. Don't forget to join the memberships. We are not going to get tons of different stuff to begin with, because you know I'm just setting up my memberships. So you're going to get one video, okay? And if you take the tier 3 membership, then you get one video right now. And honestly, it's more than what you get at this stage. It's about supporting the channel, okay? It's about people coming together to just support this channel. If you like the work that I do, it's really cheap. It's like the price of a coffee. So I think of it as taking me out for a coffee, and become a member, so I can better, you know, uh, start with a good amount of people. So then I'd like to come live just for members, and make all of that dating and erotic astrology videos for members. Now, those people that have TikTok, please find me. I know that. I know. Please find. Thank you. Please do join. Thank you. Please do join, because the first video that I shall offer to you guys is your sun, moon, ascendant video, and it'll be in public. It'll be kept as public. Why? Because other people will benefit from that sun, moon, ascendant video, and plus remember that I have made many sun, moon, ascendant combination videos, and there are a lot more to be made. So Okay, so if you're studying tropical, great. You can become a member and you will get a sun, moon, ascendant, tropical placement archetype videos. If you don't know what I'm talking about, come to my channel, go through my playlists, and you will see how I explain, say, Aries sun, Aries moon, Aries rising. Okay, I'm the only person who has done sun moon combination videos, all of them, and I'm the only person on YouTube who started with the sun moon rising combination. So you understand your archetypes, you understand your strengths, and they're all for newcomers because you understand your ruler, you understand, which planet is exalted, what is exaltation. So great for just new kids who are starting out with. Yes, babe, they are. They are in tropical astrology because tropical astrology is 24 degrees ahead, and it actually is not based on the fixed stars like Vedic astrology. It's based, the calculations are based on sun's entry into Aries. So tropical to sidereal is almost a sign away, 24 degrees. So fret not if you don't understand it. Do not worry. Just look to your degree. If you have any planets in Taurus and Scorpio, look to their degree and subtract 24 degrees, and you will see where that particular planet is for you in the Vedic. So all those kids watching who don't know their Vedic placements, it's really simple. All you need to do is firstly start up a software online application and just type, feed in your details, and just get your Vedic chart, because nakshatras, that is the key. My favorite part of astrology is actually nakshatras. So without the nakshatras, I feel like everything else is. I mean, I love the signs, I love my planets, I love all of that. I love the aspects, I love midpoints, and but there's something about nakshatras that just gives such a beautiful analysis. Please do not, I mean it. Just because you don't know your Vedic placements, don't be put off by Vedic. If you think, oh my god, it's so difficult, don't be put off by difficulty. Simple. What is your ascendant? Okay, find the degree of your ascendant, go 24 degrees, subtract 24 degrees, that is your Vedic ascendant. Where's your moon? Subtract 24 degrees, that is your moon. Where's your Mars? Subtract, yeah. So when you find your birth time, because without the birth time, you cannot get exact predictions. Lal Kitab also can't be cast without a birth time. So, and Lal Kitab is again another branch of astrology. So, that's again one of my favorites, because it's okay to study all of this. And I studied it, I got this. Okay, I'm telling you, you've got this square, you've got that. But then ultimately, what? Is there a remedy? Is there a way to work through it? Or am I just going to be doomed because I have a difficult placement? Am I just going to be doomed because, my chart says so? I don't think so. And I know not so, because, my chart is extremely difficult. And that too, people tend to tell me, wow, you speak so well, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, I have a Mercury conjunct Saturn in a sign they both don't like, in Leo. So if you think I talk well, it's possibly because I talk in a different way than the expected way to communicate, and that could be my strength. It doesn't have to be all bad for me just because, I have that Mercury conjunct my Saturn, both infant planets, in my first house. It doesn't have to be like that. So I love astrological magic and remedies, and all of that, and working with mantra, of course, is one of the best ways you can work through any planetary problems. Yes, both are very intriguing. This is the time, this is the age of information. So we can't be like, Oh, I've seen like Vedic people say, oh, we don't believe in Western tropical. Nobody who does Vedic astrology believes in Western tropical. And then there are people who do tropical astrology like, no, we don't want to get into Vedic astrology. Why? Because it'll only add to your repertoire, add to your astrological repertoire if you know both, right? So it's that's what I think, and I feel like there's just so much beauty. Both these systems, the Hellenistic system and the Vedic system, both of them have just beauty in them. And you know what's the best thing is they're so similar. Saturn pretty much means the same thing. Jupiter means the same thing. Venus means the same thing. I mean, pretty much the same thing, right? So, yes. You know, it pretty much means the same thing. So, once you look at it and you look at it with the eyes of love, you can only understand that it all comes from one system. It's actually not so different. And and that all of us are actually one. Yeah, so it'll just it'll literally only increase your astrological repertoire, right? It's if you know both, if you know the Hindu way, if you know the Buddhist way, if you know Hellenistic, it's only going to enhance if you know the Sumerian way, right? Like for instance, I do Vedic with tarot with Hellenistic. So it's like when you have accessibility to study all the systems, to know about, as I said, I'm Rahu ruled, so I love foreign things and foreign cultures, and you know, people from faraway lands, I guess. So I love to learn about what they learn and you know what they feel. Uh, so it came easy to me. It wasn't like, oh my God, because I'm a Hindu Brahmin, I mean Vedic is the only thing I'm gonna go by. I never thought that. So anyway, my dad was totally okay with the Western tropical because he gave me Linda Goodman's sun sign books when I was barely 15, 16. So always avidly interested in astrology. So uh, and my grandfather was an astrologer. Not really, that was not his full-time job, but he was a great astrologer. And it's a lot of his notes that I still study. It's a lot of his teachings, a lot of his ideas that I have. So it's just that he could never literally do what I'm doing, but he was right there. He was right there. So listen, guys, this live is, oh my God. I was here hoping it's going to be like okay, an hour maybe, but it's crossed an hour and a half. So I'll have to end now because I do want to come back today, of course, because, you know, why waste time since I've explained the whole Rahu Ketu transit and we've had an in-depth conversation. Why not give you the 12 signs predictions? If you are Aries to Libra, go right over. Uh, yeah, actually, that's right. I mean, like, members will be able to come into live discussions. I mean, they don't have to be for members only because I have very few members. So, you know, if I do a live show, there's hardly people will watch it. So, the thing is that if I come live, right, and if you're a member, you get to decide a topic. And you say, okay, Tina, I want you to talk about this. And then I just talk about it. Okay, presuming of course I know about it because you know I don't know about everything. I'm still very limited in my knowledge, but whatever I know, if I know about it, if I don't even know about it, I'll try to find out about it and then definitely let you know. So all of these members are going to get such exclusive features. So tell me, did you if you like the channel, of course, before anything, if you like the channel, like, comment, subscribe, share with friends. Okay, please. And another thing is, if you become a member, also drop me an email. I'll get a notification. I'll get a It is only going to listen. It's only going to, I'll get you a notification if you become a member, but it's better you write to me. You write an email and say, hey Tina, this is so and I became a member. And in that email, send me your sun, your moon, your rising, tropical astrology mostly. Okay, because most of these, most of you who are into tropical and you don't know about Vedic, fret not. We are here to learn, we are here to grow, exchange information, share with each other, and hopefully adopt astrology as a lifestyle. Astrology is a lifestyle. How beautiful will that be? Like for instance, a little example. Today is the day of Mars, and I am wearing red because red is the color of Mars, blood red. Okay, and Mars Day is Tuesday. So Mars magic is most potent on Tuesdays. So if you want to do something and you just can't do it, then setting an intention aside Monday night that I'll wake up and I will do it. And then waking up in the morning, although Mars is a night planet, but waking up in the morning and invoking Mars and asking Mars to help you. Those of you that are interested in a Mars mantra, it's Om Krang Kreen Krung Sa Mangalaya Namaha. Om Krang Kreen Krung Sa Mangalaya Namaha. Om Krang Kreen Krung Sa Mangalaya Namaha. So you can do this. You can just chant Mars mantra 11 times to begin with, and then you can go on to 108 times. Okay, now I guess I should end the live cast, the live broadcast. What do you say, guys? So I can take a rest, and then I can come back with the 12 sign predictions and remedies. So what I want to do for the next video is 12 signs, right? I'll give you the predictions for Rahu Ketu. Love you, Red. Love you guys, all of you that have supported this small little channel that is 20K right now. I don't even know if many of them are bots, because I mean 20K people should be giving me much more views, but I don't know. Not that I have ever paid for a bot or anything, but believe me, I don't know if they're really 20K people. I don't know. Why aren't they watching then? Please share with your friends. And what was the other thing that I wanted to tell you guys? Yeah, if you join the memberships, then you will have my thanks. And yes, listen, get on. No, I love you, of course, but not in the sense that you want me to love you, because I am, all that love for me is out of the question. I'm already happily married. Thank you so much. But here I was talking about membership, and then I was talking about this website. What was it? TikTok. TikTok. Okay. TikTok. People, if you are on TikTok, find me Astro Erotic. E with in caps. Astro Erotic. So as I said that I plan to start up my OnlyFans page where I would be doing erotic. Erotic is a tool of healing. Eroticism and astrology. How to use, when you think about Saturn, you think about like widowhood, you think about all these kind of things, right? Cold, dank. But Saturn is actually extremely sensual. This is, yeah, I know. But if you are not from India, then you could join my TikTok. It's Astro Erotic. So there I intend to do beautiful little, like channel the erotic vibes of the channel and give you eroticism as a way of healing. So right now we'll be uploading short little videos, little videos of just me. And then later on, when we get more people on TikTok, then I'll get on OnlyFans and we will start with short videos again. But getting more in depthful about eroticism as a healing tool. Okay, now as I said that today being Mars Day, it's a good day to talk about healing sexually, because Mars, ruler of Scorpio, and Mars, ruler of Aries, two very sexual signs. Okay, and Mars, of course, also rules Venus in Vedic astrology, are sex organs, and Mars also some of them. So, how to use Venus, how to use Mars, how to channel their planetary rays, because I've told you before, everything is planetary rays. So, how to use their planetary rays and how to heal ourselves, accept ourselves. If you've had trauma, or if you've had uh, any kind of sexual trauma, or any kind of sexual dysfunction, then how do you get back into that mindset? How do you love yourself again? How do you accept yourself again? So, astrology and eroticism combined can be the perfect tool for you to love yourself again, for you to accept yourself again. And that is something that I do intend to do, but more with members, because this is going to be very exclusive content, and this is going to be for people who are ready to jump into this. Now, as I said, I am just talking, and it's not ending. But so next video will be predictions, remedies, both Rahu and Ketu. Okay, and for those of you into tropical astrology, fret not. The video you will get will be of tropical astrology. Sun, moon, rising. Check out my other videos on the channel if you want to see an example of what it'll look like. And thank you for being here, being a part of my journey, being a part of my soul family. For this small little channel is literally my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Coming here, dressing up for you guys, coming and talking with you guys, it's literally the highlight of my day. I know I don't get to do it as often as I would like, but it is literally the highlight of my day. Again, I think I lost my nose. Oh, it's, as I said, many pages, and I'm going to go now. Okay, enough. I have talked my mouth off, and the thing with me is that I can talk about astrology uninterrupted for hours. Hours and hours and hours. And I'm not going to get bored. Nicole, love. Nicole, please do consider becoming a member. The first offering is your Sun, Moon, Ascendant video. And after that, you get to choose a topic. You get to talk to me on live feeds, and I answer your questions. So you ask me something and I answer your questions. Okay? So all of that, guys, on TikTok, please, Astro Erotic with a capital E. And thank you, Nicole. I knew you would. I'm so glad I met you. It's been a while. I so wish I could come more often, but I try to do what I can. But coming back soon, hopefully today. If not, then tomorrow for sure. Coming back with you, cats. Oh, I love cats. I have my cats. I have my floofies, and they're absolutely adorable. So if you go back to my videos, you can check that on many of my videos, I've got my floofs with me, my floofies as I call them. And please, if you are before Scorpio, before I go to my Facebook profile. If you don't know my blog, it's cool. Go to my Facebook profile, Easy Tina Heals. It'll pop up, it's all public. Then over there, you will see on my page, Rahu in Aries, Ketu in Libra, predictions for Aries rising, Aries ascendant, predictions for Taurus ascendant, predictions for Gemini, like that, till Libra. It's done. Scorpio, I've got here. I've not typed it yet. And of course, the text is more, because I elaborate a lot more. the Jungian understanding of Negredo, the dark night of the soul, the alchemical understanding, all of that I've gone into great detail in the text. So please, please, please check it out. Two more videos will be coming up, very interesting videos. Saturn moves into Aquarius and Jupiter moves into Pisces. This is again Vedic astrology, guys. You know, I'm not covering all the Western transits because there are too many astrologers who are already covering the Western transits, and they're getting tons of hits. And you know, even if I make it, I mean, I'm sure all of you can catch their analysis. It's good. So with Vedic, there's a dearth, and I think that, you know, I used to do the combination readings before for full moons and new moons, but it's just so much work has caught up with me that, and plus I've also got the Nakshatra series to end. So, if you don't know anything about Vedic astrology, look at your sun, moon, ascendant, go back 24 degrees, that's your Vedic sun, moon, ascendant. Then, find out your nakshatra, type the name of the nakshatra on my thing, and I've already done pretty much more than half of it. So, the rest coming up will finish shortly in a few months. So thank you so much, people. Like, comment, subscribe, share. This is Tina from TinaHeals.com. Oh, one more thing before I go. You know, I'm launching my garment company, right? And I've got some samples. And this salwar kameez, it's a short kurta, and I'll upload some pictures of it. It's a short kurta. Hands are like this, and this is the dupatta. You know, like in India we also wear it like, yeah, in India we also wear it like this for our weddings, or you know, we also take it like this, or you know, you can just wear it like a scarf like this. It's called a dupatta. So this is it, and I'll make a small little video with the patiala under. This is also for sale. It's a sample that I designed. I hope you guys liked it. It took me a while to pick up this lace because I just couldn't find anything to go with this brocade that I like, the lace. And you know, each garment is like a little story that you write, and there's just like little detailings. Like this is called chinnat, like this gathered together. So it's all like a crazy little story that comes together actually with garments. So please check out. What? Love to me, please. What do you mean by that? You mean I should love you? I love you, my friend. I love everybody. So I love you. No doubt about that. But oh, my mother tongue is Bengali. Thank you. I hope so too. I hope so others agree too. But thank you and speak soon. So I'll be seeing you guys. If you're interested to book this salwar, this churidar, kurta, this dupatta and the patiala that I'll show you in a video, then please drop me an email, tina@tinahills.com. Thank you so much. Take care and bye.